The Great Allegheny Passage. This section goes from McKeesport to what I'm calling the Orange Waterfall. McKeesport is a city south of Pittsburgh. It's about 16 miles south of Pittsburgh on the Great Allegheny Passage. That's a ride that I would like to document one day as well. Pretty cool ride. McKeesport is where the Youghiogheny River meets with the Monongahela. So when you start from Pittsburgh, you go down the Monongahela and get on the Youghiogheny. Or if you want to sound like a Pittsburgh, you say you go down the Mon and that and get on the Yaugh. So if you read the name Youghiogheny, it looks like Youghiogheny. I've heard people say Youghiogheny, but it's called the Youghiogheny River. The Youghiogheny continues down, and the Great Allegheny Passage picks up with the Castleman River, and we'll follow that until you head up into the mountains and go through the Big Savage Mountains, through the Big Savage Tunnel. McKeesport, like so many communities around Pittsburgh, was very depressed for a very long time. Once Pittsburgh fell in the 70s, we never really came back out of it until recently. And then we've had wonderful and tremendous growth until the COVID crisis, and then everything came crashing down. So here's to post-crisis recovery, huh? These were Section 8 houses. They still may be Section 8 houses. They're beautiful. Used to be when you traveled down through it. This was a scary area. There were buildings boarded up, and no, those are very, very nice looking homes, at least on the outside. This is one of the few parts of the passage that actually travels on roads. There'll be another one about a mile or two down the line. Roads can be scary. I was riding yesterday on the streets in the suburbs of Pittsburgh. Man, this one truck came within feet of me. It just, how about foot of me? It was very close. It was very scary. That's why the trails are nice. You don't have to worry about getting run over. I'm always trying new things on this journey of mine. The journey isn't just a bicycle journey. I'm learning how to use my GoPro camera. I'm learning how to use editing equipment. Trying to figure out how to present these films so that they stay within a 15-minute limit. I am no longer capped to 15 minutes, but I have found that I think I want to stay as close to 15 as I can anyway. I don't know how many people's attention that I'm getting. I think if I went much over 15, I would lose absolutely everybody. As we come down here, we merge back down onto the road. And this is the last road that we need to be on for this part of the journey. It's an industrial area, but it's a dead end, so there aren't too many vehicles traveling down here. So part of my journey is discovering what works best with keeping these videos short. I have done the advanced speed, I've done the shaving of minutes, and this particular video is a combination of both. I have shaved a lot of time off of this, and I've increased the speed, so that what was an over an hour trip is fitting into about 20 minutes, I think. This is one of the few uphills, and in Pittsburgh it's not much of an uphill. If you want to ride the roads in Pittsburgh, you got to do hills. We are a hilly town, including arguably the steepest street in the world. Some people says it is, some people says it isn't. Canton Street. So this part isn't actually a rail to trail, but we'll get to it soon enough. Nice and paved here. And this part is downhill, so this was a hoot riding down. Because I have sped up the video, I can't do my typical narration that I do as I ride, because it's just very quick and high pitched, like Alvin and the Chipmunks, and well, it's kind of funny for about 7 seconds. It quickly loses its humor. Coming down through this part, you'll see a sign coming up soon for Dead Man's Hollow Conservation Area. Dead Man's Hollow is a 450-acre park with kind of a morbid and mystical history. Now it's a place to go look at the birdies. You are not allowed to ride your bicycle through there. You got to lock it up and walk through. So we didn't do that. We stay on our bikes. We really like our bikes. We bought these machines, these e-bikes that we enjoy a lot. And you know what? They're kind of pricey. Well, the ones we bought have a really nice price on them, but I'm not going to put up with them getting stolen. So, kind of like with my Harley, I park it where I can see it. If I can't see it, it is locked down tight. Not a bad day. You can pretty much guess temperatures by seeing how many people are on the trail. Nicer days certainly see a lot more folks. You can always tell when you're near a trailhead by the amount of walkers. You come into Boston Station here. Little Boston, south of McKeesport. Up on the right here, there will be a boxcar. I like how they've incorporated so many of the little railroad stations, and they've used a boxcar. Most use the cabooses. I like seeing them. See a kid here popping a wheelie in a second. That's the kind of stuff I used to pull all the time. I was quite good at it. I'm not about to try it now. I can just see the emergency room report now. Old dude trying to relive his teen years. Typically I mark the crossroads. There are so many cross streets through here that I didn't feel like it. They don't lead anywhere. I mean, they lead to the river, but they're not through roads. I've tried to mark the trailheads in the areas where the trailheads are if you ever want to access them. But these actual crossroads here, it was just more work than I felt like doing. I do miss the sound of the crunch of the tires on the gravel. It usually comes when I review these. Just makes me think of being out there. This is awfully fast, and pieces are cut out, but I'm trying to get in as much as I can in a short period of time. So part of my journey is this narration overlay, which I've not tried before. Obviously, I have not written a script. I was doing some research last night on public domain music that I might play in the background on these. Now the Yacht is on our left now, so between the trail and the river you see a lot of houses in there, which are on the wrong side of the railroad tracks, as they used to say. Now over there you'll see shacks, you'll see businesses, and you'll see some really nice homes. This little area, I believe, is called Greenock. Shift forward again here, we're coming up to an area called, it's the Drevaux Cemetery. Next to the Drevaux Cemetery is the Apache Springs campsite. It's one of the many campsites along the rails trail. We're going to take a little break there, and now we're off and moving again. Bathrooms were open even during the COVID crisis. Just wash your hands, you know. Learned recently that Bravo is a Croatian word meaning hello. So a cemetery named Hello seems awfully strange to me. Maybe it should be called Goodbye. One of these days I'll get in there and check out the tombstones. They look to be awfully old. A few miles down this trail, there would be a big waterfall on our right. I like the waterfalls. There's something about waterfalls that are just naturally attractive to human beings. And there are a couple along here. Now you'll see this one that they call the White Waterfall. It's even labeled on maps that way. And it's very pretty as you come down, and it almost looks like winter ice as you see. see the water. And it's not ice, it's not cold enough for ice. That's pollution. This is mine now. I think that's a calcium that's coming down over the hills. This is Buena Vista. There are several parks and trailheads through here. Again, nice little community next to the trail. It would be really cool to have a house next to the trail. Just go right out your front door and be able to ride. Be pretty sweet. Now this particular video will end at what I call the orange waterfall. It's not labeled that anywhere. It's really kind of cool looking, even though you have to realize that it is also pollution. It's actually the waste, the iron pyrite coming from the coal mines down the hill. It stains everything orange. And you'll see there's actually a log at the bottom that's every bit as orange as the rock. So this trip was an hour, a little bit over an hour to get there, so it was an hour to get back. And that's why I like these e-bikes so much. The e-bikes really allow us to go further, to go faster. If I want to take a break, I can take a break and keep moving just by turning up the power assist on the bike. So I'm still pedaling, my body's still in movement. It's non-impact on my joints movement. So I'm still amping up my metabolism, range of motion through my legs, without completely fatiguing myself. Can get my heart rate up without getting my heart rate too high. I'm 58 years old. I don't want to get my heart rate too high. I want to keep it up to a point where I remain healthy and strong, but I don't want to kill myself anymore. Those days are done. Activity is really key towards maintaining a healthy lifestyle. It doesn't just make our muscles stronger. It makes our bones stronger, makes our joints healthier and stronger, provides our organs, all our innards, our brain, all that nice stuff. Nice gas exchange. Gets nutrition in, gets waste out. Our bodies are actually designed to move. We work better because we move. Also, I see as people age and their balance becomes much more precarious. They can't walk on their own anymore. They become a danger to themselves. You're riding a bicycle, you're working a lot on that core strength. To be able to walk, be able to manage independence, autonomy, dignity on your own. We don't get to store strength. You lose strength at a rate of like 20% of your strength in a week of bed rest. I like the bicycling because I like the adventure. I like to explore. It gets me out and moving. I hate treadmills. I hate stationary bikes. They just bore the hell out of me. So these e-bikes and the bike trails are just perfect for me. And we're coming to the end here. Here is the Orange Waterfall. We're just maybe, I don't know, half a mile north of Sutersville. Come on out and ride. It's a great ride. GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, start recording. I'm trying to turn my camera on.